GED. I was on top of the world. When I went to Oakwood College, I got kicked out on academic probation, and it didn't bother me one bit. Why? Because I was the first one in my family to go to college. And I sat in the college classroom and I had the experience. Nobody in my family had ever graduated from college up to that point. So it wasn't even that deep to me. Why? Because nobody had ever done it. I was just geeked that I was the first one to make it happen, that I could actually say I sat in the class and I knew what the classroom was like. I actually took tests. I ate at the cafeteria. I slept in the dorm room like I felt it. Watch this very closely. What was so crazy was when God saw this, right, before I even saw this, right? And so he said to me, not only are you going to go back to school, you're going to get a PhD. You just don't know about it. But what I'm going to do with the 4-year degree, with the master's degree and the PhD, what I'm going to do for you is what I did for Inky. It's not about school. It's about the process. And so I need you to wake up every morning at 3:00 and pray. It has nothing to do with just praying. I want you to become obsessed with the process. And the reason why some of you will never get to where God would have you to get to, you'll never get to where you want to. And I'm talking about true fulfillment. And let me tell you something. I've had money. Don't let them fool you. For those of you who running up behind it, I promise you, you can have it and still not be happy. And so when I got my GED, I thought I was on top of the world. And God says, you have no idea, son, how I'm going to use you to change this world. You have no idea. So because you have no idea, because the dream is too deep for you, it's too rich for you, you could never understand it as a 17-year-old, as a 21-year-old, as a 30-year-old. What I'm going to do is put you in school so we can ignite the process, because nothing else happens until the process happens. So the Inky Johnson we see today began at 7 years old. And your problem is you are no closer to your dreams because your process hadn't started. You wake up every single day and you chasing money. You wake up every single day and you chasing stuff. You wake up every single day and you chasing this business and that business and this business. And you have not gotten yourself to the point yet where you are waking up to the process. And I would wake up and I would have to write and it would break me. And I would have to read and it would break me. I was on my way here today. My son sent me something, and unfortunately, he sent it in a way where it's small. I'm trying to lift it up, and I'm going back and forth, and I'm reading, and my wife is like, oh, your reading is killing me. I could feel her spirit. I'm like, it's okay. I still got to do it, though, because the point in this joke is fire, and so I got to give it to you. Normally, what I would do is I would read it once or twice on my own, and then come into people's presence and read it. So when I was in school and it was feeling uncomfortable, God was like, son, it's okay that it's feeling uncomfortable. This is a part of the process. I'm grinding you. I'm stripping you. I'm molding you. So when you finally get to be the number one motivational speaker in the world, I don't have to strip you down because I've already stripped you. And for many of you, your stripping process is not happening because you're about money and really not about the dream. You're not really about the dream. You're not really about that life, because when God's begin to strip you, like Inky said, as he begins to strip you, you run. When he starts to prune you, I said, you pruning me? I got a GED. You pruning me? I ain't on the block no more. You pruning me? I'm married now. You pruning me? I'm back in school. You pruning me? I ain't in the hood no more. What are you doing? I'm doing what you're telling me to do. He said, that's why I'm pruning you. Because I don't prune things that don't bear fruit. I don't prune things that don't bear fruit. I prune things that bear fruit. Why? So I can get more out of it. And you want to stop at the 4-year degree? You have no idea, son. This is not about you. You selfish. This has nothing to do with you. You ingrate. This has nothing to do with you. I'm using you for my purpose and my will. And we got a whole lot more stripping to do. So number one, leave the doggone dream alone. That's not your business. You don't know how long you're going to be alive. You have no idea what condition you're going to be in a year or two from now. The dream is not your business, but the process is. And so I want you to look at the next 24 hours of your life, the next week of your life, the next month of your life. And I want you to wake up every single day, and I need you to have a process. Inky had a process. Inky did the same thing every single day. 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, high school football, college football. He did the exact same thing, guys. Watch this, watch this, watch this. I read his story, y'all. It blew my mind. He lost everything in one day that he had worked for his whole life. But in fact, he didn't lose anything because what he thought he was supposed to have wasn't what he was supposed to have anyway. And many of you, at the point of being broken, you shatter. The reason why I did take control in the beginning is because I realized, y'all, I'm struck. Kendall was with me. I'm walking down the street. I'm seeing homeless. Like, yo, I can't even enjoy. I'm such a flamingo. I can't even enjoy this life, y'all. I can't even enjoy the way I'm living because I'm looking at people like, yo, this how you living? I'm walking up the street. We ain't all homeless. I'm seeing people's hands. I'm seeing hands distorted. I'm seeing people walking in the street with no shoes on. They feet pus coming out there. I'm seeing women laying on the ground. I'm like, God, how am I living like this and they living like that? I can't even enjoy it. So I came up with take control because I took control. And I'm like, yo, I just want to help other people to live this life. And the country we live in, like, yo, it ain't set up like that. It's kill to be killed. I'm just being real. Africa is a beautiful place, but Africans ain't benefiting from Africa. Africans ain't benefiting from the gold over there and the diamonds. It's snakes. It's sharks that's benefiting from it. The people that live there ain't benefiting from it. And it's enough. It is. Whether you believe it or not, it is enough for everybody. That's just how it was set up. It really is. But there are those of you, and I ain't talking about lazy people right now. I'm talking about good people like my mama who put in 30 strong for Ford. My mother was a good woman. My mom made sacrifices for us to go to that company and didn't get what they told us she was going to get. I ain't talking about people who don't go to work and people who ain't got no dreams and people who ain't got no goals. I'm talking about my father, who unfortunately wasn't my biological father, but he raised me. And somewhere around 22 years at GM, he got multiple sclerosis and they got rid of my man. It was called a buyout for $100,000. My man gave you almost 30 years. You going to give him $100,000? How long you think he going to live off of that? He was making 90 a year and you gave him 100. I'm talking about sharks and snakes. That's snake. Get a man what he worth. I'm not telling you to make him a multimillionaire, but give my man what he came to work every day. He grind for y'all. Get cash my man out. You ain't got to give him your money, but you wouldn't have had what you had without him. Give my man, he went to college. Give my man, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, y'all. I'm not here to get paid. I don't need y'all to make my money. I make my money on my own. I'm a pastor. I don't ask my church for no money. I don't need their money. I make my own money. I do what I got to do what I need to do. So I'm telling you why I'm here. I'm here because you good people. And some of you ain't where you want to be. You good people. You're doing the right thing, but you ain't living like you're supposed to be living. So I need you to write down when you get up out of this joint by the end of this year, like, for real, man, just in this area, I got to do better, bro. I can't keep living like this. Write it down. I don't know what it is. I don't really care. All the information we give. Now, this is why I'm saying this because, and do me a favor, don't be cocky and write down all the stuff that you winning at. We know you winning there. Give me the stuff you ain't winning at. I just had an NBA player call me a couple minutes ago and I was like, impressed with my man because I'm like, yo, you in the league. You could just fake it like you where you want to be. But I like the fact that you called me and was like, I need you. I got you. We're going to get you back to where you need to be. I got you. But some other people that probably need to call me, but they on that cocky boy, I'm in the league. Just because you in the league, I just left the league. I told a group of guys to be honest with me. I was like, yo, be honest with me. How many of y'all here, but you ain't here? They said, what you mean by that, E? I said, come on. Your whole life you wanted to make it to the league. You wanted to buy your mama a house. That's all you ever wanted to do, and you did it. How many of y'all ain't really, really here? And about 45, 50% raised their hand and was like, I don't even practice the way I practice. I put more energy in getting to the league than I'm putting in being in the league. So you looking at them on TV like they made it. They ain't make it. They ain't got nothing else to live for. Mama got the crib. It's over. They listen to me. They are operating like a lot of you. They just on pure talent. And until somebody more talented they come, they gonna be out the league once that other kid come who just as talented. But Brian ain't going nowhere because for Brian, it ain't about championship. It's something way bigger than that. And that's what he playing for. And some of you, your problem is real. You kind of maxed out on me, right? So come on, write it down real quick and then we're going to get going. Write it down for me. I got something, man. I've been studying. I promise y'all I'm a student. C said reverse engineer about 2-3 years ago and I've been doing it. I finally found the thing, y'all, right? Write though first. Write down what you need. And then like I told you, when you write down what you want, and please do me a favor, Just if you don't know but one or two, fake it and give me a couple more because the anointing is going to be thick. And you're going to be hurt that you only wrote 2 down because you're going to have the 2 and then you're going to be mad that you didn't put 6. So just make some stuff up and put it to the side for me. For real, you gotta understand, because I'm not here for that, we about to take them to a whole nother level. And I've had to grow to help you because I was on that flamingo thing for a long time. I can't help you with just being that. So I had to add some other stuff to my repertoire. Don't get mad if I ain't just screaming and hollering the whole time. We're going to scream, come out, scream, come out. I'm just saying, because if I go all turtle on you, you're going to fall asleep, right? And that's what you need, but you're going to want to eat. So I'm a turtle, come out, turtle, come out. You know what I'm saying? We're going to work it for you, right? But whatever you wrote down, separate it from what you about to write. Separate it. Write that, what you want, take that away, put that on the side, and then listen to me. When I say something that's an action step, when I say something that is a system, you know you can use this to take to that, write it next to whatever your dreams and goals are. Because everybody got dreams and goals, but they don't have action steps to go with it. So what I'm discovering about people is you know what you want, but you don't know how to make that happen. So you're getting great content. It's some people for real. They're giving you, I'm going to talk about it in a little minute, but they're giving you some great what to do. But the challenge is, because you're not the right person, you're not going to be able to do it. So we can come in here and like give you all the right stuff, and you're only going to probably use 5% of it, 3% of it. But if you were to use 100% of what you need, what you heard and what you need to take you to a whole new level. So let me read this. Now, either this is the truth or not. We hold these truths to be self-evident. That's what they say. Either they lying or you doing something wrong. Now, you can die and say they lying. Or you can make the adjustments you need today and say, this is the truth. It's really on you. But everybody ain't living, we hold these truths to be self-evident. That all men are created. I flew first class the other day, the big boy with the lay down. I walked in, there was one black in there, and that was me. I ain't see no minorities. I saw all Caucasians. I ain't mad at nobody, but I didn't see this. When I go to the Greyhound, when I drop my cousin off at the Greyhound, I promise you, it's looking like Wakanda in that joint. I'm like, we in Wakanda, but I thought this was the Greyhound. What happened? I'm looking for Black Panther to jump out that sucker at any moment. I'm like, where my man at? Because this is straight Wakanda right here. I'm not prejudiced. I ain't mad at nobody. I'm just telling you that I don't always see this. So that's why I do what I do. I do what I do because I don't see this. And my mama told me when I was a kid, live with integrity, don't lie. So somebody lying. All men apparently not created equal. Everybody not created by God and given certain unalienable rights. That ain't the truth. Endowed with certain powers. Apparently somebody lied. God lied, they lied, whoever wrote it lied. So what I'm trying to do in this room today is I want to fix this. Raise your hand. You like, for real, I don't have all the stuff I know I should have. I'm not living like I should live in every area of my life. Just raise your hand. Let me see it. Yeah, that's what I want to work on today.
Masters have proof. So what proof do you have that your stuff works? We all want to go. I won't even go to a movie without looking to see what the reviews are.
We don't do gentle here. Why? Because the kids I'm talking to getting shot at. The kids I'm talking to want to commit suicide. They don't got time. They don't got time for gentle right now. They in a war zone where I come from. Nobody about to pay you that. So I'm saying, you playing yourself. You're so desperate that you get desperate. Now you trying to charge people a whole bunch of money. Come on. So when people ask me, how much do I charge? How much you got? So let me just be real. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. Lack is an indicator that you aren't adding significant value. So peace is which part of your life, like which part of your life do you have to handle to get to a place of peace? Say it again. Okay, home. You say home. Yep. Let's go deeper. So you use the word spiritual. That's good, broad, but spiritual. What else? Okay. So when you hear the word peace, you hear the word gentle, joy, like that. So that, watch it. That's character. All right. You get to a place like you're not screaming, hollering, arguing. That's your character. So the first thing I try to teach people, the first thing you have to deal with if you're going to build a foundation is you got to start with a solid one. So you start with your character, right? So when you start talking about the past and how the past affects the future, that's a character issue. That's saying there's a part of your character that you didn't fix. Why? Because you're talking about the past. So if you're talking about the past, that means that there's something in your character you didn't do. Now, here's what America tells you to do. And it's really a setup for failure. And they want you to be set up for failure because they make money off of you when you're not whole, when you're not healthy. All right. I'm whole because my character is intact. So I know people who living in a 2-8, and there's nothing wrong with living in a nice house, but there are people living in a house that they can't afford because they're trying to impress a group of people who don't even like them. That's a character issue. What's the issue? You have affirmation problems. Something happened in your life where the people who were supposed to be there to take care of you didn't take care of you the way you thought they should take care of you. So now you need to be affirmed by people you don't even know. So you got to fix your character first because it doesn't make a difference how much money you make. If your affirmation is not in order, you'll get the money and spend it all to impress people. So the first one is character. All right. The second thing we talked about, what was the second thing we talked about? I said, in order for you to be rich, you have to do what? You have to add value, right? So I told you there's a way to know in the relationship if you're adding value, right? There's a way to know, right? Let's just use this number. I'm not saying it is right, but just watch me. 50-50, all right? Now, that's not the truth, but 50-50 would be what kind of relationship? Symbolically, what kind of relationship would that be? It would be an equal, right? But in a lot of our relationships, it's 80-20, which means that somebody's doing what? And then somebody's doing what? Okay, good. So somebody's giving more, somebody's taking more. When you hit 50-50, right? So watch this. I told you, get your character right, then add more value than you take. If you are a taker, then that means you're being, what's the root of that? That means you're being what? Selfish. So when you're being selfish, that just means you're looking out for whose interest? Yours. That's why you selfish, because you're looking after self. You're not thinking about that other person. So when we start saying stuff like, I want my kids to, so that they don't, then we being what? Selfish. Now you think you coming from a good place because you're a parent, but you're being selfish, right? Let me tell you why you're being selfish. If I was to ever say I didn't want my kids to go through what I went through, that means I'm being selfish. Why? My kids ain't going through what I went through. Why would you even think they're going through what you're going through if you're there for them and wasn't nobody there for you? So you're thinking about your life and what happened in your life, and you don't want them to do what you did. They couldn't do what you did if you wanted to because you're not even giving them an opportunity to do what you did. You're being selfish. You focusing on your past and what happened to you. You're not focusing on their future. I'm just being real. You want somebody to be like grit and grind and resilient. But you put them in a school district where they never had to have a fight. How am I supposed to fight when you didn't give me an opportunity to fight? You're talking about your life when you grew up in Detroit and you was going to school and having to fight. We didn't have that. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but if it's something you want me to do, you're going to have to help me because you never put me in a position to do the stuff you're talking about doing. And it hurt as a father, like, whoa, I did. I stopped you from fighting because I used to have to fight and I didn't want you to go through that. But that really did make me who I am today. So now you want me all of a sudden to grind, but you gave me stuff, but now you want me to grind. You gave me stuff, but now you telling me he like, bro, you gotta help me. I'm not saying I don't want to do what you're telling me to do, but I'm just